person left with.
Zaka, let me remind you of another rule, Rule 267, under which the demand of the opposition, of the united opposition, can be permitted and should be permitted by the central government, by the speaker for that matter. We should be allowed under Rule 267, should be allowed to have those debates on GST, on price rise, on the Agnivat scheme. We should be permitted to have that. But to say that okay, we will do it and still not giving a specific time date, why not have a debate now? Why
No, because
not?
the
And if you're
minister
so
concerned
adverse
is
to
not available, Swati. I mean, what is the point of doing a debate on price rise and GST if the finance minister is ill?
And what about the other? What about Agnipat? What about
Okay.
other aspects? What about misuse of the central agencies that the opposition wants to raise the question of? There's so many topics that we want to debate upon. If the finance minister is not available, okay, we can wait a day. But what about the other topics? But to say that yes, we will do it, करने को तैयार हैं, लेकिन कब तैयार हैं? That is what we're not getting. And
Tom Vadakan,
not
it's
just
a
today.
routine practice that adjournment motions are moved under 267. Oftentimes, governments in the past have agreed to short duration discussions. Why is the government, or at least the impression that's going out, and the opposition is conveying this impression, that the government is shying away from discussing pressing issues like price rise, GST, Agnipat, etc.?
Zaka, it is a reality. This suspension spree is not something that was invented in Parliament. You have seen that in Maharashtra. 12 BJP MLAs were suspended in the year 2022. And for a year, believe me, and Supreme Court had to intervene. That's one. And that was a coalition partnership with Congress. Now, as to the question of Bengal, yes, there has been suspension and other issues also. When there were issue of the violence that happened there, and about 5 BJP MLAs were suspended. So let the matter rest on suspension. It is not a murder of democracy. It is a practice, a rule. If there is ruckus in the house, you create an environment where you cannot talk civilly. A civil discussion is not possible. And in that case, you have an accentuating situation. And as you rightly pointed out, finance minister is down with COVID. We are ready for discussion, Zaka, on any subject under the sun. But the problem is they want to grab headlines. They want to create a ruckus. And when they do this, they think they get headlines. But that's not true. People of India have woken up. They are seeing the reality that they are not ready for discussion. And I want to add something more.
Yeah.
We want positive discussions and solutions. Do you remember Thomas Isaac of Kerala Finance Minister, who said if we have inflation, print more notes and go the Sri Lanka way, you know. This is the kind of solutions they point out. Quick solutions, quick solutions. Print more notes to solve inflation.
Okay, let me ask Manojit Mondal, as of now, as of the last 1 week when the monsoon session convened, the productivity percentage in the Lok Sabha is 16% and in the Rajya Sabha is 25%. If this trend continues for the remainder of the session, it goes on till the middle of August, then it will be the third worst ever productive session since parliamentary research data began in 1999. Do you believe that the people of India are better served with such low productivity in both houses?
To answer to your question, let me quote the famous saying of Mr. Arun Jaitley, whose responsibility is to run the parliament. It is the government. And if the parliament is not run, I think our leader in the Rajya Sabha has extensively spoken on the matter. It is the benefit of the government. The government disrupts. I think government disrupts without even any provocation at times. I mean, papers, placards, I mean, are the issues? While you are talking about the issues, the people's issue, burning people's issue, of price rise, of economic blockade, on GST. I mean, yes, we believe that the finance minister is, sick, down with COVID. We wish her a speedy recovery, but there can be deputies of the finance minister. I mean, the discussion can happen on other issues. You do not want to discuss any issues, any matter
Manojit, the government's argument is the opposition is only hell-bent on creating a ruckus, waving placards which are against the rules of the House. The only thing you want to do is to capture headlines. And that is what is happening. How is the now? Can I ask one question? No, Manojit, can I ask a simple question?
Yes.
Wouldn't the opposition's own purpose, which is to corner the government, put the government on the mat on issues that are of pressing concern to the people of this country, be better served if there are discussions that happen inside Parliament rather than this kind of disruption, this kind of placard waving, which has led to the suspension? What you're doing, the strategy you're adopting is counterproductive to your own purpose.
why does one need to even agitate mildly, softly, moderately? Because we have seen even before the beginning of the parliament how you treated the members of the parliament. You had different kinds of codes of conduct. I believe the government is feared as the lions on these new parliament building. That's why they are showing their teeth. This has become a kind of weapon. Suspension has become a kind of weapon for them.
Okay, let
to
me
scare
ask